Hello everyone and welcome to Becoming Wolves. I have found out through painful realizations lately that when you say certain words, if you don't have a common definition of that word, it means very different things to very different people. This comes from our perspectives, our cultures, and our upbringings. But something like the word unity may mean one thing to somebody and a completely different thing to another person. For one person, it means conformity, uniformity. Another person, it just means holding hands and fighting together. For me, as a veteran, as someone that believes very strongly in the brotherhood and unity of soldiers, it means something very deep. And it doesn't mean conformity. Certain things require you to conform. Being in a relationship with someone requires you to bend a little. And most relationships require you to fight. If you don't have a clash, a push and pull effect between people in a relationship, you'll have a type of tyranny that is not good. You'll have an unwillingness to face hard truths, to get angry with each other, to have words with each other, to yell at each other, and then an unwillingness to make up. And the making up, according to Jordan Peterson, is one of the most important parts of it. Take a relationship with your wife or with your brother. In a functional relationship, you have certain boundaries and you have conflict, and then you make up with it. You make up after the conflict. Same thing with father and son or brother and sister. If there's not that fighting back, if you just try to not offend, there's frustration. And that frustration leads to a lot of problems, destruction. Brotherhood is something very deep for me. When I call someone brother, I mean someone I would trust with my life, someone that I feel extreme kinship with, and someone I would trust with my secrets. This brotherhood, this camaraderie, is something that you can feel, and many feel, and an experience in their lives, but many do not know what it means. Some people, like when you say Brother Amos, or Brother Jonathan, when they're a brother in Christ, it doesn't mean much. But when I say my brother Alex or my brother Isaac, that means a different thing. When it means something that is the true sense of male bonding. Same thing with sisterhood. My sister Sarah, my sister Janine. Those people, there's a bonding, could be natural, could be something that is like an adoption of some sort. It doesn't have to be legal, just needs to be true and of the heart. It's a joining together of your lives in a way that is sacred. And so when you have a brotherhood, like you have a brotherhood in arms, as soldiers that are trauma bonded together, or people that have similar visions, that want to see the truth and see God's will in this world. When you call them brother, you need to mean it. It's like siblings. You argue with your siblings. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. But if there's not that ability to have that conflict, then one will dominate the other with their words or with some means of tyranny. And in the old days, and I think it should be brought back, when you had conflict, you fought it out and then you made up. For men, that conflict generally went to fists, fighting each other, either with their words or with their fists. I remember many times growing up with my brothers that we got into some pretty heated arguments, yelling at each other. And sometimes we didn't want to speak to each other at all. But my mom would sometimes tie us together and make us walk around with only 3 legs so that we would make up. And other times, it's not generally accepted, but you'd fight. And it didn't really matter who won, just that the force could be enacted. Because people fight with their words, whether it be a calm voice or an animated voice. People fight with their words. And sometimes some people have a hard time getting words out, especially in confrontation. Or they're more high-strung than others. And sometimes you need to settle things. It's important to have agreed upon definitions, and that those definitions are consistent and they don't change based on situation. Anyway, it's a weird thought for today, but there you go. Thanks for watching, and let us together become wolves, and together, as brothers, we will win.